Hello, today we're doing a Japan run. We're going to start out here by researching stock exchange, followed by, actually, we're going to follow that by lathe. No. We're going to follow it by ammo engine, and then once we get that to 10K, we'll swap over to lathe, because that's slightly more efficient in case our construction queue ends up not being too good. We're going to swap over to iron frame construction and build ourselves, I think, somewhere around 2 construction sectors. We're also going to build a little bit of iron to fund those construction sectors, along with perhaps a tooling workshop to make those iron mines work. Now, for decrees, I know a lot of Japan players tend to spam promote social mobility, but I think this is not a good idea because you already have plenty of literacy and you're going to get even more literacy as time goes on. So we're not going to go for those buildings because I think we'll have plenty of literacy. So instead, we're going to use some road maintenance in these states, along with whichever states they built iron in. So like Tohoku, Kanto, and Shikoku. Shikoku, let's look for that, and Kanto. Put resource industry as well there. And we're just going to use some random decrees instead of the other decrees, because I think promote social mobility will just be a bit of a problem considering that our expected SOL is kind of high already. And we don't want it to become too much higher. So I've declared one interest in North Germany because I want to use Prussia as the country we get to 50 relations with to get recognized. For my other interest, we're going to put it in Manchuria because I think we're going to do a day one war to liberate Joseon so we can return state it later after we finish with the restoration. And then we're also going to take North Jilin because I want something to spend our infamy on. We don't want to take North Heiliangjiang as well, though, because if we take that, we'll have a border with Russia, which will make getting recognition a bit harder. Oops, I accidentally waited a little bit longer than I needed to, but we're going to go ahead and declare here for Liberate Joseon. And then we're going to add in here Qing War reparations and conquer state North Jilin, or North Jilin. Now, I'm pretty sure both of these guys will only want a Yeongnam treaty port. Let's take a look at Britain to ensure that that's the case. Actually, oh, okay, well this is not something I expected. Maybe this was changed in a recent update. But I remember before, Britain thought you would not be able to help at all, so they didn't want this. But since Britain wants an Eastern Guangdong treaty port, we're going to give them that instead of the Yeongnam treaty port, because otherwise we'd have to fight for the treaty port we give Russia here eventually. So it will just be slightly easier if we just call in Great Britain here. Oh, bro, they instantly leave our support. That's not very nice. Okay, let's try calling them in this time, but we're gonna swap our government to support to be more like theirs, and we'll see if that maybe fixes things. Because I think that is usually something that fixes this problem. So let's try it now. Yes, that seems to have stopped them from abandoning us. Okay, now that the war is fully escalated, let's go back to having an actually legitimate government. Okay, we've just run out of infamy, and now we're going to start declaring wars that we actually have, like, basically no intention of being able to win anytime soon. But we just know... Oh, I forgot, we're supposed to be improving relations with Prussia to get them to 50. But yeah, we're going to be declaring wars with no intention that we think that we'll actually be able to win them anytime soon. It's just that we need something to spend our infamy on, because we did run out. So we'll just be in a bunch of wars, and eventually, once we build up a navy, we can enforce them. Okay, at some point we spawned a peasant movement. This is going to be very useful, so we're going to start bolstering the peasant movement, because we really want to get off of serfdom as fast as possible. But you can see here, this movement's trending towards having a ton of support. So it's going to be really easy to pass things once this movement gets a little bit of activism, which I think that will maybe we might just have to increase taxes to make them radical enough, but we should be able to find a way. Okay, China is now willing to accept the demands, so we'll just peace out them, and I guess we'll start incorporating, and we'll eventually build a port here in the back of the queue. Oh wow, okay, so we're already actually at the bottom of our queue. Probably want to build more iron mines, right? That seems like a good idea. Build as many iron mines as we can, along with a couple tool shops, right? And we can upgrade the tool factories using Iron PM, because I think it'll be slightly better. Okay, so I'm not 100% sure how we got this territory without naval invading it. My best guess is that the Dutch East Indies tried to conquer it, and when they occupied it, the capitulation thing, when you're 100% occupied, it capitulates basically to a random person. Well, I think it's actually, there's probably a method to which country it capitulates to, but it basically seems random. That's my best guess. I'm gonna go try and look through the autosaves to see what happened. Okay, looking at the autosaves, that does appear to be what happened. As you can see here, I just loaded back to a previous autosave, and you can see that they were trying to conquer it. I think this port is a pretty low importance, so we're actually just going to put it down to the bottom of the queue, especially with the turmoil, it's just taking forever to build. I realize we're actually just making tons of money, so we might as well build a little bit more construction. It's mostly because of the Qing war reps, but our price of construction will go down eventually anyway, and we can just delete construction if it becomes a problem. So we're going to build a bit more. Okay, I just noticed we've run out of infamy again. So we're going to declare war on Gaza to conquer Laurenceau Marks. Because we want to, this territory down here is stuff we want to take over. And so we might as well use our infamy on it eventually, right? I think our peasant movement has gotten enough support that it should be good enough. So we're going to raise taxes, and that we are going to hope that that will make the peasant movement more active. Because if it becomes more active, then we can start using it to try to pass things. Also, one thing I wanted to note here is it's a little bit confusing that this pressure, the highest pressured interest group is like half of the support. Like this, it's a little confusing. I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense because support is calculated differently to how interest group clout is calculated, but it just feels a little bit wrong. Okay, after a little bit of staying on high taxation, it appears we've gotten enough radicals to get this to 25% activism. So now we're gonna go into here, and I think we might want to go tenant farmers here, even though I did like homesteading for China. I'm gonna have to think about this, but the main thing is it's gonna be a lot easier to pass tenant farmers. Okay, yeah, I think we're gonna go with tenant farmers. Another reason why is tenant farmers produces less grain than homesteading, so it also might make our grain price slightly better. Because higher grain price, means we can get corn laws faster, and corn laws means we can start to industrialize better. Oh yeah, also we're going back down to medium taxation because we're already at max money and we don't want the radicals. And once it's at 25% activism and you're passing the law, it will never go below. You can see as our pops re-promote up in SOL, we lost our huge amount of radicals, and now we're slowly going up in loyalists and slowly going down in radicals. This is a little bit of an interesting event here for the passing that I've never really seen before. I'm not sure which option is best. I think that given how high our success chance is, the bottom option is going to be best, although it does make aristocrats more radical, which might not be too good. I think we're going to go with the bottom option though, especially because it doesn't result in the penalties like -2 SOL and stuff. Okay, well, we actually get pretty lucky and we get that 40% success chance for tenant farmers, result in a passing of tenant farmers, which is very nice for our grain price. It's all the way up to plus 9% now. Okay, we're going to do the classic war against Russia here for recognition because we do want to get recognition and we're very close to getting to 50 relations with Prussia, so it's about time that we declare our war against Russia for recognition. Just gotta add in the classic war goals. And we also need to actually make a navy in order to invade Russia with. It'd be pretty hard to invade Russia without a navy. So I'll build oh, we actually used to build a military shipyard. It's been a long time. I think this is actually the first time I've ever played a country that starts on isolationism. Actually, no, that's not true, right? It's probably Paraguay. They started on isolationism, right? Yeah, they did. Um, but yeah, got to build a military shipyard. Wow. Now I'm going to mobilize the 100 stack to ensure that Russia hopefully cannot naval invade us, although they probably still can. But the AI is probably too stupid to successfully naval invade us. We'll see. If they do, then I will probably have just reloaded. Their first naval invasion, they actually assigned enough navy to build a land, but the infrastructure is at a 100. So I think that we should hopefully be able to defend with just a much larger number of troops in them. Okay, the first battle seems to be going in our favor, although it is relatively close. Yeah, maybe we should actually conscript up as much stuff as we can, because they're actually going to start a second naval invasion battle pretty soon here. So I think we're going to conscript up in case that will make the difference. Also, we should put these guys on defense, because that would help too. Oh, what? We're losing. Well, that's not good. Okay, in this second battle, it appears our conscripts have started to make the difference, because we do almost immediately somehow win the battle. By the time I started recording, we'd already basically won the battle. Seems like the conscripts are making a pretty large difference. Are any of these guys not shogunate? Yeah, this guy isn't shogunate, so we'll level him up. Okay, our military shipyard has finished constructing, so we're going to build one naval base in order to get some navy, so we can use one of these stacks to naval invade with. We should try to get some org in them also. I don't know how our naval invasion defense is looking right now. Seems like, we've lost one battle here though, so that's a little bit scary, but just need to get a little lucky and we should be fine. Oh, that's not good at all. The battles here keep stealing our army, so we have like almost nothing to defend in this tile, which is a big problem. Okay, our navy thing got built, so we're gonna sign an admiral and start naval invading Siberia so we can enforce on Russia. It may be Jover. No shot. How are we losing this battle with like 10 times the troop count? There's no shot. It's it's looking bad actually. Very bad for us here. But maybe we somehow make a comeback? I don't know. Oh, we're winning this battle. That's good. Okay. But now this battle, we had like barely anything to defend in. It's really annoying that they are effectively doing the naval invasion cheese against us here. I think this might be the battle that decides, oh, okay, we're winning. That's good. Because we really need to defend for just a little bit longer, because we are starting to occupy Siberia here. But we don't want to go further in that direction. We want to take this tile, actually. Okay, we've managed to hold until Russia's war support went to 0. So we can now propose this peace deal. And since we have extra war goal that we aren't enforcing, we're going to get recognition. So since we have that extra war goal we're not enforcing, Russia's willing to accept earlier. And we now get recognition here with Prussia, which is going to be big nice. Now the 7th major power in the world. Also, one weird thing is that the ledger is currently broken, so you can't sort by anything, which is a little bit strange. I don't know why that's happening. I guess it's just permanently sorted by prestige now. You can see we're just below the United States of America, although we're hugely below the US. Where's Spain? Spain's all the way down there, wow. So this is something I don't usually experience. We text threaded Cotton Gin and Lathe before we finished researching Ammo Engine. The reason this happened, of course, is because Japan's literacy is ridiculously high. So we just text spread way faster than I'm used to. So we're about to trigger corn laws now. Yep, we got corn laws just from having a decent amount of grain consumption. So now pretty soon, hopefully we'll get a market liberal and we can get off of isolationism and traditionalism. Now that we're recognized, we should rival a bunch of the people in Germany for some extra influence, because we're going to want it for some extra infamy decay. And then we'll also just go ahead and conquer, I think, oh, we need to put our interest back in South Africa instead of East Siberia, but we'll continue conquering more of those people down there in order to have a use for our infamy. So it turns out UK has not canceled their guarantee of independence on Transvaal, so we're not really going to be able to invade them, so we need to find someone else to invade. Oman for Zanzibar. Oh, no, France has started guaranteeing them as they always do. Well, I need to find something that we want to try to invade for our next war. Okay, now that we're recognized, we're going to form a sovereign empire power block, I think. Oh no, we can't because we have isolationism. I didn't realize. Or I forgot that that was one of the conditions for it. Never mind. Okay, well I've decided the war we're going to declare to use up our infamy here. There's going to be a Bolivia protectorate play, and we'll also transfer North Peru and liberate the South Peru guys. Oh, South Peru sides with us. That's pretty convenient. We will Oh, never mind. No, they sided with Ecuador. Okay, never mind. I thought they sided with us. We actually don't want to use the Liberates then. We will just put in some Bolivian war reps. My understanding is that when Bolivia gets protectorated, they'll automatically lose the other two guys and they'll combine into Peru anyway. So we should be good on that. Okay, Bolivia ends up backing down, which I mean I think is a slightly good thing. It means we don't get Peru, but it also is just makes it so we don't have to figure out how to win that war later on. We finished researching ammo engines, now we're going for railways and then water tube boiler. I'm gonna swap up to atmospheric engine and we're gonna build a little bit of coal. Wow, there's actually very little coal available in our country. We'll build a little bit in Kyushu because it seems to be our only state with large numbers of pops that has coal in it. Okay, we get a modern conservative. That's pretty nice. I just started bolstering the liberal movement just a little bit ago, in fact. So hopefully the liberal movement will now start getting a little bit of support. Oh, what? Okay, so this is like the inverse of the other one where support was like wrong with pressured interest groups. This time, somehow it's pressured at 9% clout. I assume that's a rounding error or something. But yeah, I guess we can grant leadership already. That's pretty nice. So we'll grant leadership to him. And now I'm pretty sure to get on laissez-faire, we need to not be on isolationism. So we'll start out by passing free trade, I guess. We can now give the Dutch an obligation in exchange for 100% tech spread for military. Definitely going to take that 100% tech spread for military. That seems pretty nice for us. You know, help us get line infantry a little bit faster here. We've gotten another one of the tech spread options here, and I've got a little bit of a choice here because if we look here at line infantry, we can see that it claims that it's giving us the normal amount of tech spread at that number, but it claims we're getting an increased number in this number. So we're gonna wait till the next Monday tick and see how much we get in tech spread. Okay, we got about 70, so that could be either one, I guess. Okay, we got about 100, so I think that pretty much confirms that it is working, it just doesn't show it correctly. So we'll do the tech spread option, because I think we want as much tech spread as possible. With passing tenant farmers, our SOL has gone up a lot. Okay, we're going to invade New Granada and hope that none of the great powers will intervene against us, but we want some extra mandate growth. So I figure New Granada is a good target for that. We might add ban slavery as well, make them more likely to back down, mobilize one of our stacks. Okay, this is super frustrating. I've reloaded twice, and this has happened again. Peru has declared independence with a bunch of supports from Bolivia, so that's terrible for us, pretty much. And we are not allowed to side into this war because Peru is an indirect subject of us, and Bolivia is a subject of us. So dumb. This is how war siding works, but it just is. You should obviously be allowed to side against indirect subjects, in my opinion. Okay, we're gonna land in New Granada here pretty easily. They always don't defend Panama for some reason. Yep, now Peru's independent. That's really annoying for me. I might just protectorate them manually. But Ecuador is pretty likely to support them. I don't know. It's just super annoying when that happens. We keep losing battles here, mostly because we don't have enough morale from having low convoys, but we're going to naval invade here, and hopefully that will take some troops off the front. Oh wow, these guys have super low manpower, so not actually a significant number of troops. That's a bit unfortunate. We'll just naval invade into Antioquia, I guess. Yeah, this was a bit tougher than I expected. Okay, our king just died, and he's replaced by a 10-year-old. I mean, it's not great. We get negative 15% authority from having such a young leader. Although our time to pass laissez-faire is back, so we can start going for that again. Oh yeah, I suppose another reason we could be experiencing problems is isolationism does give some taxation capacity that we have lost from going off of it. So that could be another reason why we're kind of having many problems, I guess. For now, until we find a way to beat New Granada, I'm going to unassign from the front here, just because I don't want to have the negative convoys, which are making our subjects super disloyal. You know, that's a big problem for us. Our subjects are going to get a ton of liberty desire. I'm going to start building government administrations with the hope that once we pass laissez-faire, we're going to need more bureaucracy. Okay, we're out of infamy again, so we're going to try to conquer Zanzibar. Okay, we've landed once again into New Granada, but this time we're going to mobilize our other army stack as well, so that we can hopefully actually successfully land and take over all of New Granada. First battle is going relatively well for us. We're managing to push a little bit into Anticoya, the proposed white peace again. We lose this battle, so we'll go full defensive. Probably wait for our landing into Cauca to get in with our 53 stack. And then hopefully now we can start pushing on both fronts and then be able to win relatively quickly. Yeah, things look like they're going mostly pretty well, um, especially on the southern front, right? Oh, what in the world is happening here? Okay, well, it looks like things are going well. So we can peace out for all of our war goals against New Granada now, and then start improving relations. They changed names to Colombia. I wonder if that has to do with banning slavery or not. I don't know what else it could be, right? The stall chance is super low because we've got a big end of discussion factor because we've got such a high success chance. Well, I've just realized I don't really have any clue how we're going to be able to land Zanzibar, so we're just going to demobilize our army for now, and then we'll figure that out later. We just don't want to waste our money on our army for now. About to hopefully pass laissez-faire here. Yes, we successfully passed laissez-faire. Big nice. That's going to cost us 500k. Yeah, we probably don't want to spend. No, it's pretty cheap, really. We can afford that. Being on laissez-faire is a pretty good upgrade. You get that capitalist investment pool contribution efficiency and stuff. Reinvestment of 109k. This is truly the power of the reinvestment buff from being under 50 million GDP. That's a huge amount of reinvestment that we can spend on building some new construction sectors for it to be useful. I forgot that we could go up to water tube boiler. That might make a pretty decent difference to our economy. Go up on all these to condensing engine pump. Make them slightly more efficient. We get an opium addiction event from having Han people in Kyushu. I'm going to try to pass the wealth voting here because that will help out quite a lot, I think, if you can successfully pass it. Though it might be a little bit tough to pass. We do have the plus 15% from having a Democrat as our IG leader, though, so that might help out a little bit. Would have helped out even more if we could get the liberal movement to have above 25%, but we couldn't. Oh, this guy's supporting the absolutist movement. Get out of here. You don't deserve to be supporting that movement. Our credit is going up, or I mean, like our debt is going down because um, our buildings are getting privatized in huge amounts because we've got so much reinvestment coming in. Super nice. Probably just going to keep building more construction sectors to get to truly use the power of our capitalists here. Finally getting some stuff. There's some really nice companies that require us to complete the Honorable Restoration journal entry. So I'd really like to do that, but unfortunately we need at least 50 legitimacy in order to do that, which is seeming a bit tough to get to 50 legitimacy. Hopefully when we pass wealth voting, we can get to 50 legitimacy while staying the landowners out of government. You can really see when we got on laissez-faire here, our GDP has just been going up pretty nicely since we got onto laissez-faire. Got a couple more company options now. I think we'll slot in the tool company, I guess. I need something to spend my infamy on, so I guess we're gonna go for a protectorate on Dynam. We just need something to spend our infamy on here. It seems like a decent choice, I guess. There we go. Make protectorate Dynam. Hopefully we get them to just back down, because it'd be annoying if we have to stay in a forever war with them too. But we'll just add in a couple extra war goals here, which will hopefully make them more likely to back down. Well, looks like Dynam did not back down, which is a bit unfortunate for us, because I don't think we're going to be able to land them for a while here. Our reinvestment is slowly going down as our financial districts buy buildings. This is one reason why interventionism might be the meta for countries under 50 million GDP, or like really under 30 million GDP. That's when reinvestment multi starts really going down. But even if you're on interventionism, you can just not sell the buildings to get even more Oh, we got wealth voting passed. But yeah, you can get even more reinvestment, right? But yeah, we'll see how the election goes here. I think this is bad parties. I think we wanted a church party. I think that would have done good for legitimacy. Let's see what parties are winning the election. Oh, this is super good for us. Constitutional Reform Party winning equals free legitimacy. I tried to fight a civil war here to instantly do the restoration, but I couldn't find a reasonable civil war to win. I got a royalist civil war where we controlled Kanto and Tohoku, but it just wasn't enough in order to be able to win. The rest of the country was pretty easily able to defeat us. So we're just gonna have to do this the normal way. Probably the way you're kind of intended to do this, where you just wait for the election here, and then we should get past 50 legitimacy. Yep, and then we just need to stick like this for about 10 years to complete the honorable restoration. Oh, it requires being at peace. Okay, that's a bit of a problem for us. So we might just need to find a way to win these wars finally because of that. So these troops have 17 defense on average. Yeah, how do we beat that? And we can try to build like a really big navy, I guess. Yeah, I guess we'll just try to build a ton of navy and try our best to use that. Oh, if we use this government, we can actually stay on high taxation while being above 50 legitimacy. So that's slightly better. Created this new army here. We're gonna try to invade Zanzibar with it. We'll see how it goes. We've got slightly better stats than them, but it kind of if the battles are big enough, we probably just lose, right? There's potential we can win though. We'll see. Yeah, the Zanzibarians are destroying us, so we'll cancel our landing. We need a couple more boats to get constructed here, so I guess we'll build more. Just need a bunch of boats here in order to be able to land. We have just become a great power, which is pretty nice, but we are gonna... Oh, bruh. The Russians would support Mara, so never mind. Lehej, would you be supported by anyone? Wow. Get a new mandate. We're gonna put in food standardization too here. Now that we've gotten up to 11 troops, I think we have a much better chance of being able to invade Zanzibar successfully. They've only got a couple line infantry, so hopefully our superior quality will be enough to be able to land. We'll also activate extra supplies. That could make a big difference. Moving us up to 24 offense, which is quite good. Oh, we need org. Okay. We failed with 11 troops, but our navy has gone up to 16 troops now, so hopefully that'll be enough. I had to restart this battle so many times to get a good trait and for the battle to not be in a forest, but we finally managed to win the starting battle. I restarted it, by the way, by just canceling the naval invasion over and over again. I know we're at 0 infamy. We should probably do something. It's just so much effort to try to find wars to declare at this point. Just because I'm supposed to be at peace to get the honorable restoration. So maybe we are just supposed to find a civil war to declare. I don't know how we find a civil war here, though. It should be the final battle to land in Zanzibar. Yep, we finally have landed in Zanzibar. So now we need to transfer over a couple more troops or actually this is probably enough troops. We need to land in Cambodia now so that we can get into Dainan. We're successfully landing into Cambodia, pretty nice. Okay, now that we've landed in Cambodia, they've sent their whole army over, so we'll enable invade into Tonkin and send some more troops over to here. So somehow they're only getting like a couple troops in the battle with super bad morale and stuff. So we're able to land here despite having a very large naval penalty. So that's nice. Just landing into Tonkin here despite a disadvantage. We really want to finish this war quickly though. And then we kind of want to start another war. We should just start another war. This is certainly one of the Victoria 3 runs I've ever done. Okay, the final battle for Tonkin should begin in just a second here. Of course, they offer me a white peace. That's actually going to be annoying. It's going to stop me from proposing a peace offer to them. Okay, we get an anti-French league. I don't think that's very good. Maybe it's fine. Well, in 3 days, when this peace offer goes away, we can now propose this peace, and we're good. Get Dynam as a protectorate, which is pretty nice. And we're going to declare our next war, finally, against the Congo, which we should be able to finish pretty quickly because we have this 16 army stack here, and Congo has 10 irregulars, so surely our 16 line should be enough to defeat that. Well, after the election, we no longer have enough clout to run high taxes, so we have to go back down to medium taxes in order to continue or start doing the honorable restoration. But this is going to take so long. We're going to get a later than historical restoration. When was the Meiji Restoration? Yeah, 1868, and we're going to get ours in 1872 at the earliest. In fact, we're going to get it way after that because we have to keep declaring wars to use our infamy. I mean, unless we find something better to do, and if we find some sort of civil war to declare. We're going to start passing proportional taxation because that will give us more money and it'll be targeting the correct people more. Okay, we just finished fighting Congo, so we can finally start going back to slowly completing the honorable restoration. This is going to take so long to complete. Oh, oops, I'm damaging relations with Vietnam instead of improving. That was a big mistake. Gonna slightly hurt our cohesion for a little bit. Transvaal's guarantee is finally gone, so we're gonna invade them. That'll finally be something to use our infamy on. It's gonna be relatively easy to enforce quickly. Oh, that amount of convoy usage is so bad. I'm gonna make it less permanent by sending them actually to here for supply routes. Yeah, now we're not getting anything for supply routes. We really need to just build more ports, though. More ports. We'll use that mandate, I guess, to get up to food standardization 3. Japan seems like it's gotten hugely nerfed over the last couple patches. Yeah, the 50 mil GDP reinvestment thing buffed it, but the rev changes made it so much harder to quickly do the restoration. We're doing it like significantly past the historical date. Also, we've got terrible legitimacy here. How do we have such bad legitimacy? What? Oh, we got an authoritarian, these guys? Oh, but I exiled the Petite Bourgeoisie recently because of a similar problem. Oh, but this is 50 legitimacy. Okay, we're good. And then I'm going to instantly invade Freistadt immediately afterwards, and to just declare that war, so that we can have a decent amount of infamy to chill out for a couple years and get some more progress on the honorable restoration. We're getting the honorable restoration very late here, which is pretty bad. It's probably not that bad, actually, you know. There aren't too many bonuses to doing it early. I don't actually remember if it gives you claims on Korea or not, or if you have to complete the next event afterwards. You get like some journals, and if you complete them all, I'm not sure exactly how you get the claims on Korea. The reason I don't think it's immediately is you can see here that it explicitly says that we get a claim on Sakhalin, but it doesn't say that for Korea. I'm gonna go for steel frame construction here. Should hopefully be good. Installed in the iron company. That's gonna be a pretty nice company to have, I think. Our reinvestment's pretty solid around 80K, which is kind of nice. We really would prefer it to, not go down too much. Although it's definitely going to start going down after 40 million GDP because it's just how it works for some reason. We got prop tax, which I think is pretty nice. Might be worth building up to taxation capacity in some states now. Oh, we're back under 50 legitimacy, so we gotta lower taxes. This is pretty annoying. They're so hard to stay above 50 legitimacy. You might need to start just promoting generals to get legitimacy up here. I think it's going to be a good move to go for appointed bureaucrats here, because if you get to appointed bureaucrats, that will give us some extra taxation capacity, which will hopefully make us earn significantly more money, especially once we start going back up on taxes eventually, because we're going to have to go back up on taxes eventually once we finish the honorable restoration, which is taking forever. These are some very good, weird war goals that the UK has on China here. They're trying to conquer like Xinjiang and stuff. Very weird. Okay, after this election, the Constitutional Reform Party got a ton more legitimacy because it won the election with 64% of the vote. So we can go back up to medium taxation without any problems now. Looks like Great Britain just white peaced with China. Just passed appointed bureaucrats. It's pretty nice for our taxation capacity, get a not solid 25% bonus to it, which is pretty useful, I think. Oh yeah, we got mechanized workshops. We can switch up this PM. It's pretty nice, I think. We can't go steal tools yet. We can do this one though, seemingly. Actually, is there any sulfur in our country? Yeah, there is. We're gonna build some sulfur to make those sulfur paper mills do some stuff. Russia just got claims on all this stuff, including our territory of North Jilin. So Russia's probably not going to be very happy with us anymore, even though we did get them up to amicable. Oh, they got the good old Tsar Alexander Romanov. He's really good. I assume, yeah, the Russian AI is not using him well, though. Have they even gone to market liberal landowner? No, they haven't. I assume it's pretty likely to appear, though. Yeah, it's 100% likely. So if they just exiled their landowner guy right now, they get it. We've actually, hit so much mandate progress, but we just don't have a good enough power block to get our third slot yet. We need to be in the top 5 blocks, and we're just not yet. That's a bit unfortunate. I might want to try to take the Dutch East Indies soon, although Prussia might be, might protect them. So that'd be a bit of a problem if Prussia would protect them. Is there a country that Netherlands guarantees? Because if there is, that would be an easy way. We could attack Selangor and then add in transfer the Dutch East Indies as a war goal. That could work. It's 84 infamy. That is a ton of infamy. Yeah, that's a lot. Got a fluvial Bantu uprising. Apparently it's called the Cuban uprising here, but it was called fluvial Bantu before. We'll start mobilizing these 16 troops, put them in South Africa. Move the navy over here, because we gotta go try to crush this revolution as fast as possible. Because the longer that the revolution is up, the less time we can get honorable restoration going for. Food prices in our market are going a little high, so we're going to try to build a ton of fishing, because I think that'll be a good way to lower our food prices. And Prussia's unifying Germany finally. That's going to be a bit of a problem, especially if you want to attack the Netherlands, because Prussia is going to be very strong, unless they manage to lose this war, which I guess they might actually lose. Oh yeah, USA is against them, so they probably lose actually. There's a ridiculous amount of battles happening here, but it looks like Prussia is losing the majority of them. Oh, maybe not actually. It's very hard to tell. Okay, if we look here, we can see that France has lost about 55% of battles by battle size, so we'll see how that ends up going for them, if they can win the war or not. We actually are getting a little bit too much money, so we'll build some more construction here. We'll also realize that we were supposed to be naval invading into Congo. That was a thing we were supposed to do. Got another revolution here. What's this state? Oh, Lorenzo Marx. Okay. And we finished the revolution here, finally. Okay, it looks like Prussia is, in fact, going to lose this war. They've done a bunch of occupation by Saxe-Coburg-Gotha here, which is seemingly going to be a big problem for them. We're about to run out of infamy. I think we might try to take the British Raj, because I remember checking and it was 99.8 infamy, which, it's almost 100. Okay, we can now invade the British East India Company, or the British Raj, and we're gonna try our best to do this. Got everything upgrading, we're gonna raise the conscripts. We just need to try to hold the Home Isles for as long as possible till the British drift below 0 war support, and then we should hopefully be good from there. And try to use this 16 stack to naval invade the Falklands and stuff. It's gonna be a bit tricky, but oh, bruh, is France gonna side against us here? If so, that would be really bad. Yeah, that would be bad. Looks like they're not, though. Well, that's nice. Maybe the British AI just thinks that we're too easy to need France's help. I mean, that must be what it is, right? They just added a couple liberation war goals, which are going to make things a little bit easier for us, since now they have to land Hokkaido in order to enforce. And they're about to get, yep, 79. Now we're going to add a couple extra war goals here. In fact, we should have added these at the start instead of the other way around, but we're going to add these war goals. We're taking British war reps because they have incorporated the Falklands. Prussia indeed lost the war, so now there's very little hope of Germany ever unifying because Westphalia got released from them. And Westphalia is a pretty important thing. If you lose Westphalia, it's kind of over for you as Prussia. Oh yeah, especially when like all the German miners are no longer in your power block too. Don't think we want foreign investment rights in Prussia right now. The British actually defeated my fleet when I was trying to take over the Falklands, so that's unfortunate. Where are these guys headed? They're headed to that? No, you should go back to Congo. Um, oh, I can't change where you're going. Okay, well, yeah, we're just gonna keep doing that until eventually. Oh yeah, the British have started their first naval invasion into us. We just need to wait till their war support starts going negative and or starts going to 0, and then we'll have to find something to land. So they might have incorporated something here. No, I don't know what they would have incorporated, but we might just have to land the Falklands a little bit later once our navy recovers again. Or actually, let's just force the navy to instantly recover by recruiting a new general, and then we'll try landing it again. With our hugely outnumbering them, we should easily be able to take the Falklands. Yeah, it looks like they've just stopped trying to defend it, in fact. The troops are just moving away. Well, that's convenient. Oh, I meant to accept Argentina's demand for their own market. Oops. I did this. This is actually my second try of fighting this war, by the way. I did this the first time without upgrading the skirmish, and I was like kind of losing the defensive battles, but now with skirmish, it seems like the British are just not going to be able to land at all. They're getting very destroyed in these landings. Oh, we're finally in the top 5 blocks. Okay, we can add a new mandate then. I think we'll go with, could go colonial offices here. Could also go advanced research. I think we'll go colonial offices. Great, we get an anti-Austrian lobby. That's not too good. What's our political lobbies like right now? Interesting. So that's our biggest lobby by quite a lot. We're going to try to land into Arakan here, and then we're also going to try to have this, or we're going to use the 31 stack actually, I guess. We're going to try to position the 31 stack so that it's going to be relatively close in the sea to where it'll go start a naval invasion into something like Pegu immediately after the other one lands, so that we can hopefully then redirect it to West Bengal last second, and the troops from West Bengal will be in our naval invasion, so we should be able to get in for free. Yes, we're in. Now we'll start a naval invasion into Pegu. And it's just a matter of making it to Pegu now. And then we should be good to swap to where we actually want to land. Great, there's a Chilean fleet that's going to block us. But it's going to be dead in just a second here anyway. Cancel the naval invasion. Oh, and then we aren't going to be able to restart it because of that stupid battle. Split formation. Oh, both formations are in the battle? You're kidding me. Okay, well, the battle ended. We're going to try to start re-landing Pegu. And then we'll change it again last second. How close are we? Let's take a look here. 2 days. So 1 day off now. Can now change it back to landing West Bengal. And let's see here. Yes, we got in. And Britain's war support is negative. So we can now do transfer British Raj. We can't take British war reps. We can take everything else though. Okay, that's good enough. Now we have the Dominion of India of Japan. Big nice. Now I don't want the British Dominion of India to go bankrupt, and they have a lot of debt, so we're gonna reduce subject payments on them in hopes that that will stop them from going bankrupt. Now, one nice thing about colonies that I think is a pretty unobvious thing is they do not have the relative prestige modifier that most subjects do. Uh, I think this is pretty big because it means otherwise the Dominion of India would basically be always gaining Liberty Desire from us because they're way more prestigious, I think. But because of this, we should be able to get them loyal much easier, I think. Hopefully, at least. I'm just going to spam build ports to try to fix our market access problems that we're currently experiencing. Dang, the Dominion of India managed to get off of extraction economy, which is pretty bad for us because it makes their Liberty Desire much harder to deal with because they have a ton of a very little economic dependence because we don't get that plus 0.5. Okay, we can now start naval invading into Zanzibar. Dominion of India is requesting greater autonomy. We just cannot give this to them because if they get to Dominion, then they'll get the relative prestige modifier, which I'm pretty sure is going to make it basically impossible to keep them loyal. That's a bit unfortunate that they request that because it's going to make our relations with them a little bit worse. And we're getting kind of close to, or we probably were getting kind of close to improving relations. No, we're not so close. It seems a little bit strange to me that I can grant the Dominion of India states from their subjects, but okay. We've passed over 50 million GDP. It's pretty good. I think I'm gonna rival Austria, the Netherlands, and Belgium. And then I'm gonna start funding lobbies in my subjects, because they are very disloyal, and I think funding lobbies is usually a decent way to keep them more loyal. Oh, I forgot Peru isn't our subject. Never mind. Okay, the Honorable Restoration just finished. We get the Kome Restoration. I think we'll pick the Industrialist will see us through. Apparently we already completed Ensakoku. Retire the Samurai. We need all of our buildings to not have no organized training. And for Industrialized Japan, we need some more states. That looks like that's going to finish very soon. So let's just go ahead and upgrade these PMs to general training. And that's the Fall of the Samurai. Um, let's see here. Negative 25% military research speed or 80% radicalism. That's a lot of radicalism, so I think we'll click the top option here. Yep, now we're the Empire of Japan, so we can start colonizing Sakhalin. Oh, we can colonize the West. Apparently, apparently it's counted as a small sea connection or something. I forget what the exact term is, but if you see here, or by very limited sea path. Yeah, I guess it's only like one sea node to get to that. Okay. So we just need one more state to become at least level 5 urban center, and we should be able to finish industrialized Japan. Of the states being counted for it, which is incorporated states, the closest one is Hokkaido. So we're going to need to start doing Hokkaido. The only other options are North Jilin or Ryukyu, and those are much further away. Now we can get the industrialists into government, so we can start trying to pass, a real colonial law. Oh, did our petite bourgeoisie guy get replaced by a jingoist? Yeah, he did. Okay, we completed urbanize Japan. So I assume, yeah, we get level 5 urban center in Hokkaido. So we now get to choose here between a couple options. I think we're going to, of course, choose claims on Korea. And then we get the event here. We get some inefficient agriculture. We finished tech spreading labor movement, so we can now instantly research steel frame buildings and go back to researching civilizing mission. Steel frame buildings is always a super nice tech. I think it's probably one of the best techs in the game that most countries don't start with. I mean, there's better techs, I think, but like there's super early game techs that basically everyone has anyway. So I think out of the other techs, like out of tier 3 and above, I think steel frame is like a big outlier in how good it is. So super nice to get that tech out. Almost doubles your ability to construct, so pretty big. Now that we're done with the restoration, actually, we should max taxes, I think. Oh no, we can't afford that for minimum expected. So we'll just do high. What? Okay, yeah. It's gone down to the correct amount of minimum expected. Okay, we passed colonial exploitation, so we can now start colonizing in a bunch of areas. Do we actually have quinine? Yeah, we do. Yeah, we're gonna start colonizing just the areas that have regular malaria for now, I think. Now we get to have colonial offices at level 3. Big nice. Oh yeah, since we are the Empire of Japan now, we can adopt state Shinto, which I think is better. Take a look at the Shinto religion. It's also Eastern, but it replaces Buddhist moralist with Shinto piousness. Take a look here. Theocracy and state religion. This one, they want monarchy, autocracy. So it's basically equally bad. Let's take a look at these traits. Increased radicalism, conversion, and authority. Compared to our current guys have, is it 15% authority there? I think so. In which case that's slightly better. Yeah, I don't know, it's yeah, 15% authority. So I guess we'll adopt State Shinto, even though it appears to not actually be much of a difference. We're going to try to put this government into power and then use it to try to pass public health insurance, I think. Um, why is our success chance so high? Oh, we have the labor movement helping us out as well. We can swap over our government administrations to standardized filing systems. That'll help fix up our bureaucracy deficit. I'm going to build a giant university, I think, because I think it'll help out a little bit. Trying to get our tech up. Although literacy, being at 75% literacy is already making it relatively easy on the tech. It'll be even easier if we've got a level 50 uni. Oh, China declared bankruptcy 3 years ago. I wish I realized that right when they declared bankruptcy. Yeah, they're not in debt anymore. It's a bit unfortunate. We would prefer for them to continue bankruptcy spiraling by a lot, but they're not able to do that. So that's very unfortunate. Chile has declared independence, so we're gonna have to try and stop that. I don't know if we want to add reduced autonomy. I think we don't. Nah, I think we'll add reduced autonomy war goals here. Austria is supporting them. I think this should be a pretty easy war for us to be able to win. We get public health insurance. That's pretty useful. We'll start trying to upgrade that. Okay, the war with Chile has begun. So, oh, apparently, what's their name? Has already started a naval invasion. Yeah, the Dominion of India. So we're gonna naval invade Buenos Aires instead. Buenos Aires. No, uh, Buenos Aires. I'm the greatest pronunciator in the world, as you can clearly tell there. We've landed in Chile because our naval invasion to Buenos Aires was not working. So that should cap Chile really quickly because we've got nearly 100% occupation on them. 68%. I'm surprised this stuff is that much of their GDP. Oh, they're just gonna be able to push in through Argentina here, I guess. Be pretty nice. Colonization to Africa is actually looking pretty good. Let's hire a general and assign it to this front. Oh, we can't reach that front. I assume it's because of the port bug and Lorenzo Marx. So we can send over these two troops, I guess. They're not glitched, yeah. I don't understand how this is 100% occupation. It just objectively isn't. But okay, next tick, Chile is going to be out of the war. And that'll just leave Argentina. And then we'll be done with this war. Oh, we're out of things to build. Let's build coal. Coal is expensive, so therefore it must be built. All the coal mines in Kyushu. I'd really prefer if Dominion of India would just declare bankruptcy instead of just staying in default forever. You know, it's not very nice to just stay in default forever. It's pretty big malice to throughput, and throughput is very important to pretty much everything in the game, you know. Start a naval invasion into Buenos Aires again. Chile requests increased autonomy. We're of course going to say no, because that would be evil. We can't give them increased autonomy. Since Chile's already at 100 liberties there, we might as well enforce military access them into this war so that we can actually win it. You know, gotta figure out a way to win, and that seems like a pretty good idea. Okay, so we got this peace deal here. So this is a little bit strange because I actually have loaded back here, and apparently they're now willing to accept the peace deal. They weren't willing to accept the peace deal before, but I guess this is just very convenient that they're willing to accept the peace deal. So we get reduced Argentinian autonomy. We can now start improving relations with Argentina and get them back to having not 100 liberty desire. We've managed to get Dominion of India out of 100 liberty desire, and it's still going down despite us having low supply network strength, which does mean we should really build more ports as much as possible, although a lot of the stuff probably doesn't have too many workers. I'm going to reduce subject payments and exempt from service on these people to make them hopefully more likely to be loyal, because it's very annoying when your subjects are disloyal. Also appoint local governors. That will hopefully lower their liberty desire a little bit. Yeah, the liberty desire is apparently barely still going up. That's a bit unfortunate, but it's better than it was before at least. Dominion of India requests a greater degree of autonomy again. It's annoying. For our final principal slot, we've got a couple of choices here, I think. Advanced research would be reasonable, but then we'd have to go for a schools institution, which I'm not sure that we really want to, given we have got the Terracotta system, which is already so good. Maybe construction is the play here. I kind of feel like construction is the play here. Definitely would have gone external trade here when bankrolls were OP, but I think construction does seem like the play right now, given how bad bankrolls are. You can see how much default kills GDP here. You can see they're at like 90 million, and they defaulted, and they went all the way down to like 60 million, and now they're back up to 85 million after declaring bankruptcy. I forgot to fully subsidize the railways, so we had huge market access problems here in Kyushu, which was causing our coal mines to be way less profitable than they should have been. You can see they're only 8 productivity. They should be way higher because the price they have for coal is ridiculously low. It would go up a lot once these railways start employing up. Now with market access restored, these are now quite a bit more profitable at 13.7 productivity. Now I'm going to exempt East India Company from service. Definitely not because I knew they were going to. No, definitely not because I declared a war against Korea here to annex them and then they joined against me. That never happened, you know. I'm sure that that didn't happen, considering I'm saying it didn't happen, right? So yeah, we're going to return state all of Korea here, which will be, you know, some yummy, yummy territory to eat. Although the Russians are going to join against us, so that's going to make this a little bit harder, but should still be relatively easy, I think. I think I'm going to take some Russian war rats to make them try to capitulate a little bit faster once we're done with Korea. We're holding North Jilin barely, you know. It's a bit of a tough thing to hold, but should also push out of North Jilin, actually, into Yakutia before this army arrives to the front, which is going to do kind of soon. So we need to push quick here. Okay, I guess, you know, we don't want that to be happening if possible. Where's the incorporated states? Here's the closest incorporated state. Okay. Come on, we need to push to the incorporated states. I'm gonna stop bankrolling and funding lobbies in the EIC. That's costing us way too much money. We really need to try to find a way to win this war against Korea here. It's looking really bad for us. Because Korea is like a very surprisingly big army. I'm very surprised that the Korean AI is able to field such a large army. Well, Russia just took over North Jilin, which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I think we're gonna try naval invading it. Um, let's see how that goes. If we just land back into North Jilin. Okay, they're gonna try to naval invade us again. Oh, we need org in order to land. That's a bit of a problem. I'm trying to push down to North Jilin. I landed in Okhotsk with the small army and moved the big army back down defending. So we're just trying to move our way down to Okhotsk here. Which is seemingly gonna happen. They're sending troops to the front, but it's gonna take them a long time to get here. We can just stop ourselves from capitulating here, because if we capitulate, that would be really bad. Okay, we're trying to land in North Jilin instead now. Or no, we can't land North Jilin. Hmm. What do we do to win this war? This war looks so bad for us. Let's try to land into the capital of Korea, I guess. If this works, that would be pretty crazy. Do we actually just get into Korea? Oh, no. Oh, wait, what? Never mind. I thought those troops were going to be in Korea, but no, they're not. Okay, we just kind of land into Korea and we're just good. Okay, but that's certainly one of the ways that we win the war. Okay. Yeah, this is kind of perfect. Okay, we'll just split formation here and move this one to take it from this side, and that's going to be pretty good. Okay, they've assigned enough stuff to the south that we can't push in that direction anymore, but we can still push in the other direction. So that's good. They're capping super duper fast, so we just need to hold this for a little bit, and we should be good. Okay, we just got kicked out of Korea, which is really bad. We're going to land in North Jilin, which will stop us from capitulating. So that's nice. And then I guess we'll move the 220 stack into the... Where are the troops actually going to get assigned? I don't know. We'll move the 220 stack, I guess, up to the northern front here. We just need Russia to capitulate, and then we should be good. Russia's pretty close to capitulating. Although, actually, if Russia capitulates, then we can start capitulating too. So that's going to be a bit of a problem. Oh, what? We're pushing into Korea? Oh, okay, that's good. Yeah, okay, that's actually completely fine then. We just need to assign to this front in time so that the Russians can't push down to us. And then we should be good. We need 4 generals here to push as quickly as possible. They've stopped us from continuing a push into here, but we're going to try to land instead. We'll see how that goes. This war is very chaotic, but Russia's about to cap actually, so that's going to be huge. It's also going to mean we start capping though, so we're going to act fast after Russia capitulates to be able to win. Okay, so they've got some troops defending. The 220 stack is going to head over. We need to make some good progress quickly here. Okay, we're slowly making it into Korea, but we need to make it very quickly actually, in order to not capitulate. That's actually going to be very close if we can do this in time. Yes, it's going to be very, very close. Oh no, it might be Jover. They've got only revoked claims on the south. How do we get in time? Maybe we don't? The only way I see us winning this is if I double land South Korea. So we're gonna double land South Korea, because I don't see any other way we don't capitulate in just a second here. Oh, unless I just don't have any troops defending against naval invasions. Okay, never mind. We don't need to double land. It's all good. Because as long as we hold this, we're good. And we won't cap. -90 war support. This is the closest war I've fought in so long. Okay, we're just gonna naval invade into the capital here to end this war slightly faster. Should get in, right? Unless these troops, they don't have 100% morale. Okay, that's unfortunate. But once they get to 100% morale, if they get to 100% morale, is there some troop that's at super low morale. Okay, whatever, we got in. They're about to capitulate in just 18 war support. So let's wait a little bit, send the peace offer here. And Korea is now part of the Empire of Japan. I'll go ahead and reset production methods on Korea. Probably needs it. In fact, a lot of the stuff probably needs it. Oh, we're actually getting capitulated here by an uprising. Where's the uprising? It's over there. Okay, we'll send a naval invasion back to Zanzibar to retake it. Consumption tax on opium is pretty profitable, so we're going to do that. Guess we should also start incorporating Korea. That would be a pretty good idea, I think. Efficient canning practices, good old food standardization level 3 doing its job. Steel tools will be good as well. The open hearth process, paper bleaching. Lots of nice stuff we can start turning on here to hopefully help make our economy go boom. And upgrade to dynamite and stuff as well for more explosives demand. Yeah, we get so much explosives demand from that. Bunch of explosive factories we can build and then go up more on dynamite. I should really use dynamite more. Okay, we've now occupied these guys so we can ask for colonization rights. China and the UK are fighting again. I think this is going to result in a white peace eventually, but luckily it has gotten China into a bunch of debt again, which is going to mean that they're going to go bankrupt eventually because the interest payments when you're unrecognized are crazy high. So we'll hopefully be able to protectorate them after that potentially. Oh, the British are 3 peace score off of accepting a white peace. Okay, so maybe this war won't white peace. It depends on how the white peace modifier goes up over time. We are at 0 infamy. I think we want to declare for something small, and then eventually we're going to go for Beijing once Britain white peaces that war. What could we want to go for in the meantime while we wait for Britain to hopefully white peace with China? Okay, this is a pretty big throw by me. I've been on forest glass the whole game. That's it's a big throw. Being on forest glass was making glass prices a little ridiculous. Now we can build a bunch of lead mines and they'll actually be profitable. It'll make construction a bit cheaper as well. Well, this is actually a pretty reasonable war to declare to take Zambezia from Portugal, because for some reason we have a return state CB on it. Well, it's actually because there's some sort of upraising, I think. That's usually why you return state CBs randomly. Yeah, I guess we'll just conquer this from Portugal to get a little bit of infamy. Guess you might as well probably conquer more from Portugal, right? Usually you want to conquer more than just one state. They've got huge neutrality somehow. Oh, Britain's actually antagonistic. Benin. I think we want to conquer Benin. We don't actually have an interest. Okay. Once we get an interest, we'll try to conquer Benin. Great Britain is currently 1 peace score away from being willing to accept peace. Oh, yep, there they go. Great Britain is peaced. Oh, I forgot to add the other war goals I wanted to add here. Oops. Well, I think we're going to be declaring on China pretty soon. They've lost a ton of their military power in that war with Great Britain, so it should be relatively easy. But we should probably finish our war with Portugal here first. What? Great Britain's in a war over Botswana. Okay, this war with Portugal is basically over actually, so we'll just go ahead and take over Beijing. It's only 10 infamy. We'll also take Qing war reps to make them more likely to run out of money, which we want, of course. I don't really know what else we want to do. Could conquer Shaanxi or liberate Manchuria or something. Southern Manchuria is actually a pretty good state. I think we'll just take Beijing and yeah, I think we'll just take Beijing for now, and then leave more stuff till they eventually what's it called? Get down to being an unrecognized minor power, so we can just subjugate them easily. Although maybe there's an argument that we should try to do more stuff to make them run out of prestige. I'm not really sure too much what else we could do. Actually, we can take a tree port in Suzhou. That seems like a kind of nice thing to do. We'll raise the army, put it on the front. Oh, China backed down. That wasn't really something I expected, but okay. I guess we'll take it. Big nice. Start incorporating Beijing. It's only 5-year incorporation because we're Eastern heritages. Big nice. Oh, the ledger is working again. That's weird. I wonder why it was not working before. Our minimum expected versus regular or versus actual SOL difference has seemingly grown up a ton. So we should go up to very high taxation. We've got a very legitimate government here. Pretty nice. That monument in Beijing, is of course helping to keep our government extra legitimate. Well, we might as well pass dedicated police force. It's just always better than local police force, pretty much. So apparently Great Britain sided against us in this play. That's a little weird. I think that's the first time I've ever seen Sweden form a power block. That's a pretty rare country to get all the way to forming a power block, considering, oh wow, they're a great power, yeah. I think that also might be the first time I've seen Sweden be a great power, at least before they formed Scandinavia. Maybe after they formed Scandinavia I've seen it, I don't remember. But yeah, this is kind of a rare sight. It's a military treaty, cool. We'll go construction 3 here. It's a nice mandate, unlocks a pretty good company. The British are invading us here, but the war's just gonna wipe peace after we peace out with Burundi, so yeah. Great Britain keeps declaring war on the Dominion of India. I've tried reloading to avoid this war, but it simply is unreloadable to avoid this war as far as I can tell. I've tried reloading a couple times. So we're gonna have to join this war to help out the Dominion of India. Now we're gonna have to choose a war goal. I think transfer British Congo would be a pretty reasonable war goal. Take a look at that. Transfer British Congo. Where is that? There it is. 15 infamy. Oh, we already have a ton of infamy though, so maybe we don't want to do that right now. I don't really know. Maybe we want to do it anyway. I think we want to wait a little bit to hopefully have the Dominion of India add more war goals. Actually, they probably won't because they're so scared. So I think we'll just ask for an obligation. We can add war goals if we want, but I don't think we want to. I mean, liberating British Congo and stuff could make some sense, but I don't think so. In British Congo seems like such a good thing to transfer, actually. Yeah. Okay, we'll just transfer British Congo, even though it's quite a bit of infamy, I think. Oh, yeah, okay, we'll do it. British Congo. Let's find British Congo in here. Actually, would taking British... If we took South Africa, that would actually cut off the British from being able to colonize up through here. That would be pretty good. So actually, I think we'll transfer South Africa. Or we could liberate South Africa, actually. How much? Yeah, these guys don't have much prestige, so it wouldn't be too bad to liberate them, I think. Because we can eventually subjugate them if we want anyway. We'll liberate subject South Africa. You return state CBs. Return South African Lorenzo Marx. No, I don't think we want to do that. We'll start assigning our troops over to this front in South Africa, as well as, I suppose, some other fronts as well. I think this war will be pretty easy, because once you have Dominion of India as Japan, you're pretty much just stronger than Britain, I think. Okay, we get fire break, which means socialism is going to be less powerful. I guess we'll take the legitimacy. For war goals, we need to occupy Luang for Boulogne and stuff. Okay, we're about to land into Sin, which will be the first war goal occupied. And then we're also pushing slowly into South Africa with our huge stack. Although they are slowly pushing into our Africa from British East Africa. But I think we can land British East Africa with this stack now that it's done landing into Sind. And just land it into Kenya. Okay, we get this nice event where we can use our obligation we got to get 10 infamy reduction from the Dominion of India potentially, which that would be super convenient if they say yes. Oh yeah, we need to pick a new tech to research actually. We've got quite a bit of the good techs here at this point. I don't know what tech we'll research. I guess pneumatic tools is usually a decent tech. Yeah, we're oh, how's the defense of the home isles looking? It's going well. I forgot what I was gonna say. Okay, this is pretty catastrophic. The British are in our homeland. However, luckily they have war goals on the British East India Company, so they actually can't enforce on us, even if they occupy our whole homeland. But this is pretty terrible that they've managed to land in the homeland. But we're just gonna assign to the front, I guess. But once these landings get in, it's gonna be very tough to defend, and they're gonna get in for free. So yeah, we need to. I think I redirected this? No, I haven't. Okay, well, we're going to try our best here. This 184 stack should really probably not be here. Yeah, we don't need it. We're gonna send it over to this front, which is gonna be the most important front. Oh, what? Never mind. Okay. I guess this is okay. We just need to push into Luang Prabang's capital as quickly as possible. Because if we make it into the Luang Prabang capital, then we can start enforcing on the British here. I think this is the final battle for Laos. Now we occupy Laos, so just need to take the British down for a little bit longer and we should be good. Oh yeah, it looks like India didn't end up accepting that 10 infantry reduction. So yeah, India didn't end up accepting that for us, which is very unfortunate. It's also very unfortunate that we're being full occupied, but I'm pretty sure we will be able to peace out with Britain here relatively soon. Although we might not be able to take all of our war goals if we want to peace out quickly, which I think we probably want to peace out quickly super badly. So racking up all this devastation in our homeland is not very good. Um, so we might just have to peace out without taking transfer Luang Prabang. Let's see. How much are they willing to accept this? Negative 44. That's pretty low. I mean, we could just liberate Dharampur. That's basically no value to us, right? Yeah, I don't think we actually really care about this pretty much at all. So we'll just do that as our peace deal. As usual, I forgot to turn on automatic irrigation. Turning that on will be, I think, a pretty big upswing for our economy as we turn on this PM, which doubles the output of most of these buildings, and it sometimes over doubles it, like in the case of cotton. We got some nice event. Oh, we passed cultural exclusion, or did we fail it? I don't actually know. Okay, I guess we passed it. I didn't really notice that, but I guess it's nice we passed cultural exclusion. So now all of our pops that are in tier 1 acceptance should slowly move up to tier 2 acceptance. If you look here, once their cultural community acceptance goes away, we will slowly get that fixed. The EIC is fighting like almost all of its subjects, so that's not too great. I think that they'll manage to win though. If I would have noticed this, I probably would have reloaded to avoid it, but yeah, it's pretty unfortunate that pretty much all their subjects are revolting against them, which, pretty bad. But if they can manage to win, which it looks like they are going to win, because at least some of them are going to capitulate, and then once some of them capitulate, it's going to be thing. But the problem is Dominion of India is in a lot of debt, so that could be a big problem. China declared bankruptcy recently. We can take a look at how their prestige is looking. They're pretty close to dropping to unrecognized regional. They still have a bunch of leading goods producer though. That's helping them out a lot. We need to get rid of these leading goods producers from them. Luckily, China is already going back into debt without even anyone having war reps on them right now. So that's going to be pretty nice if they just continue debt spiraling. What tax law are they on? They're on very high. Not tax law, I meant tax rate, but yeah. If they're struggling to pay off with very high taxes, that's a very good sign. We're trying to get on homesteading, which I mean, if they succeed, would be pretty bad for us. Yeah, this is the problem that China is running into. They've got huge turmoil throughout their country that's giving them big tax waste. That's probably why they're not making profit. Right? The tax waste is a pretty bad modifier. We're running such a big positive balance, so I'm gonna spam a bunch of construction and wherever it's cheapest, and that should hopefully Help make our balance a bit more negative again. Oh, we also have huge investment pool going at the same time. Yeah, we can afford tons of construction more because our GDP has just shot up recently quite a lot. We can build loads of construction sec. Oh, that might be too much, but you know, whoever said there was too much construction in the world? I'm not actually 100% sure why our income has gone up so much recently, but I think it was because of the auto expands I put onto government administrations, fixing our tax waste problems or our uncollected tax problems. And now they're mostly fixed in most of our states. You can see even Beijing, we fixed it in. I think that has been a big reason why our economy is doing so much better. Like we were able to have a bunch more construction now. Russia's going to war with China. Nice. They're gonna take Eastern stuff. They're also actually taking Tarim Basin and stuff. That's a little interesting. China is just gonna get destroyed because they're bankrupt, so their military penalty is huge. Actually, Russia has a surprisingly weak army. Also, we are not using our construction. So China's civil warring. We have to support the Qing liberal movement here because China's on one fragile unity. So if we were to subjugate them, they would split off into a million states. But I'm pretty sure the revolt tags don't get the fragile unity. So if we support the revolt, it shouldn't trigger fragile unity. I should actually really test this, but yeah. Okay, I've tested it, and it turns out that the new China will keep fragile unity. So we're just gonna have to let the civil war happen. And the hope is that what we'll eventually do is protectorate China. Then, before the end of the week or whatever, before the fragile unity triggers, grant them enough states that their liberty desire becomes low enough to reduce them to puppet. Then we'll grant all their states the Dominion of India, so they then cannot get fragile unity to lose their states. Some would say losing a million per week is not good, and they would be very right. But you know, we got this. 500k reinvestment or 500k plus weekly change in here is actually pretty good, you know. And we'll slowly make construction costs go down as we lower this, so it's maybe fine. You can always delete construction. Some would say researching pneumatic tools when you're already having too much construction for that extra construction throughput would not be a good idea. And they would be super duper correct. Oh great, Great Britain's trying to steal more stuff from China. I don't like that. And I can't support China because we have too bad of relations. I can support Great Britain for a state though. I don't know what we want to do here, because we definitely don't want Great Britain to get these states. Because I want them. Well, I don't really see any other option but to just let Great Britain take them. Don't really know what else we can do. It's a bit tough to stop them. We're outscaling Great Britain so much. Although there isn't really much. Yeah, the states are going to get super expensive to take once Great Britain has them as the thing. Well, one of the super nice things about the Tarakoya system as compared to other countries' education is this education access, I'm pretty sure, is global throughout your country instead of just being in incorporated states, which means even though we're only starting to incorporate Africa slightly, these states still have much better literacy than you'd normally expect. Like Lower Congo actually is probably, yes, unincorporated, but you can see that literacy there is really high because it's got tons of education access, especially for peasants from Tarakoya system. You can see here get 45% on peasants and 25% on everyone else. I've just researched feminism, and so in order to maximize our GDP, we're going to excel the intelligentsia guy so that he will actually support women's suffrage, and then we're going to go women's suffrage here for that huge workforce ratio. This effectively means 60% more workers for your economy. Oh, because of split state shenanigans, you've got a non-coastal fishing war, which makes perfect sense, really. China's about to capitulate to the UK's war in just a second here. Okay, China and the UK just peaced out. Now we're gonna declare a war on China now because we want to try to limit their prestige as much as possible to make them into an unrecognized regional power, to subjugate them. Um, so I think what we're gonna do is declare for liberate Manchuria force diplo play, and then also add in conquer Shaanxi and Chinese war operations, which will make primary. And then we're just gonna start mobilizing and defeat the Chinese, which should be pretty easy because the Chinese are still got like 5 years of bankruptcy left, so it should be super duper easy to defeat them. Okay, China backs down, so we don't get Shaanxi, but we still get to liberate Manchuria and take some war reparations, which are of course going to make things much tougher for the Chinese to not go bankrupt, which we definitely want them to go bankrupt. We're gonna, I think, yeah, we're gonna try to pull Manchuria into our block, I think. Let's take a look at, oh, their leverage is probably super high because of Chinese stuff. Actually, 1,000 is probably somewhat reasonable to pull into our block. Yeah, I think this is possible to pull into our block, so we'll give it a try. Somehow a party formed, but there's no election going on? Huh? I didn't think parties would just randomly form without elections. Yeah, that's a little bit weird that we just got the Common People's Party. Anyway, the Trade-unions are actually, very happy with us right now because we're passing women's suffrage. So, that 10% manufacturing and a 5% workforce ratio is so nice. I wish we could get them powerful. Happy, powerful trade unions are so good. Please pass women's suffrage. Nope. Oh, is this Argentina wants greater autonomy? No, you don't get greater autonomy, Argentina. Are you crazy? Okay, we've achieved women's suffrage, which lowers your birth rate quite a bit. So pop growth is not going to be too great, but the workforce ratio is super nice. So now if we look at one of our laborers, you can see that currently 25.1% is in the workforce, but it's now going to start trending towards 45%, which is hugely better. It's going to massively let us have more jobs to create. Put the armed forces in government. We're going to start trying to pass professional army because peasant levies is bad. I mean, actually, wait, wasn't mass conscription buffed recently? It does give a 100% training rate, but I don't think that's too important. I've just done a bunch of stuff with Manchuria, so they're now going to be willing to join our power block relatively soonish. I think we're barely beating the historical date for Manchuria if we subjugate them quickly here. So that's kind of unfortunate. We're not even like 10 million years ahead of time. It's a really high GDP for an AI. Some could say they just stole all their GDP from China and stuff. They've stolen like a ton of GDP from Burma, Siam, all this stuff. Um, yeah, this is a pretty high UK GDP, I think, compared to what I normally see. Next highest is France at almost half the amount of GDP. Oh, we unlocked House for Plastics. That's going to use up a ton of oil. Let's turn that on, and then we'll start building all the oil rigs in the world, because they're all going to be super profitable now. Start by peasants. Actually, start the job seekers, because, yeah, we're actually just going to build these everywhere anyway. But, yeah. Maxing them out every single state we can. Even building the whaling stations, probably, actually. You want as much oil as we can possibly get. Well, it looks like the Dominion of India lost the independence war against their subjects, or at least against a couple of them, which is pretty unfortunate. Now India looks terrible. Now we need to choose a new company. Just tech spread at a company slot. Tech. So we can choose between a couple options here. I think the United Construction Conglomerate is probably best, so we're gonna go with that one. Probably should maybe we are supposed to just disband this company, to be honest. This company probably doesn't really be useful for us. Which companies can we slot it in? Can we slot it in instead? South Manchuria, no. Oh, that's a pretty nice company though. There's some really good choices. Mitsubishi, or this one for 10% iron mine throughput. No, I think we'll just stick with this for now at least. No, I think I'll build a giant navy just so that we can try to, get number one prestige in the world and maybe try to drop China down in prestige. If you build a giant navy, that's always a good way to boost prestige. Giant amount of ironclads, and I guess we'll make this also have some org by building couple of torpedo boats in Korea. It's not quite enough. We'll build some in Tohoku and Kanto and Hokkaido as well, and Beijing. We've passed UK as the #1 prestige in the world, finally. Mostly because of navy building and army building. I've started building a bunch of army as well. So you can see we're now actually getting a reasonable amount of prestige from that, I think. Let's take a look. We're getting we're getting a bunch of random stuff here from power block statues, but we can see 500 from navy power projection so far. That's pretty decent. We're slowly building more army power projection as well, though. You know, more shrapnel, artillery, and stuff over time. Building loads of army. We might, might end up declaring a war. I don't think so, but I might end up declaring a difficult war, so might as well have a couple hundred battalions to fight with. Our leverage with Manchuria just passed 200, so we can now invite Manchuria to the power block. Big nice. We should change the power block color to be red. That would look so much nicer. Let's change it to be something like that. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Manchuria is now a part of the Great Power Block. Unfortunately, not a part of the market yet, so they don't get to have infinite stuff yet. Just finished researching multilateral alliances, so we're now going to transfer Philippines from Spain, because, that's a territory that Japan wanted. We've got a big military compared to Spain, so this war will be pretty easy, I'm pretty sure. 239 troops in this big army, huge. Oh, you want to fight France? How about you give me a bankroll? Wait, how is Prussia winning this war? What? How are they? Is France bankrupt? What? So France is 7,600. Wow, Prussia just has a bigger military. That's surprising. Um, well, I guess we'll take a bankroll. Just unlocked another company slot from corporate governance. So I think we'll choose Mitsui as our next company. Has a bunch of industries we don't have companies for yet. The war has finished escalating. So we're now going to do a naval invasion into the good old Philippines. Just need to promote a couple more admirals, actually. We need a lot of admirals to have this many ships. How's our prestige looking with all this many boats? Yeah, we're almost at 5K prestige. Definitely pulling up the world average in prestige quite a bit. Up to 280 for the requirement. How's China's debt looking? 31 million. Probably gonna go bankrupt kind of soon. We'll mobilize this 200 stack so that whoever that is can't land us Denmark. I'm basically out of buildings to build, which is, a bit of a problem. It's very hard to not overconstruct when you have this much, but I guess we can just start lowering taxes. That's one solution. The Great Battle of Luzon. It's not looking good because they just arrived back with their whole army, so we're not going to be able to land fully. But we are gonna at least win one battle, but we're not going to win multiple, unfortunately. Philippines is losing money relatively quickly, so I could just wait till they go bankrupt. Or we can just actually keep fighting them, and we have so much more manpower, even though we're not getting many troops into each battle. Eventually, their troops should just get killed, because we've got all the manpower in the world, right? Oh, actually, this battle, we actually just get way more troops in somehow. Well, that's nice. Means we can actually just get a win. The landing into the Philippines is almost over. What? What just happened? Why did that battle just get canceled? Huh? You got some sort of uprising here. We could really get a new navy so that we can actually do more landings, but we can't. So I'm just gonna keep fighting in this naval invasion here. We'll eventually land. Okay, the other war's over now, seemingly. That's nice. Okay, we're about to land in the Philippines. Very great, huge stack. Why is it not actually going to the front? Okay, now we're gonna use this 424 stack to just try to land into I guess Eastern Andalusia looks like it'll be the easiest to push into the capital from. This being separated as two fronts is super annoying. I think I have to just split formation here in order to be able to push, because they're just keeping on pushing in the easy front. What? No, you're not. What? Okay. I guess that worked. Okay. Apparently they unassigned their army from defending their homeland, so we just get into Spain for free. I guess we'll just keep pushing. And try to make it to the capital of Spain and stuff to enforce quicker here. How are we already at 43% occupation? This does not look like 43% occupation to me. Does it count any state that's partially occupied as 100% occupied for that calculation? Maybe, actually. That would actually make some more sense for everything I think about. Yeah. Well, we've made decent progress into Spain here. So we should be able to capitulate them very soon. We get a strike, and I don't think it's going to be very easy to pass either of these things. Why are the intelligentsia against this, actually? That's a bit strange. They're market liberals, okay. Well, I think we're just gonna have to click the strikers must be suppressed, and we'll see how that goes. Okay, Japan is willing to peace out. Get the good old Philippines as a great member of This Is Certainly a Bloc. You know, it's a great bloc, really. How much infamy is it per state in China at this point? 6.7? That feels high. I thought it was like 4 before. Why did it go back up? Strike, anti-strike action. What can we do here? Promote strike breaking. Gets industrial strike scabs permanently? What? Is, is that actually a permanent thing? A general strike will occur if this is not done in 5 years. That seems a little ridiculous. You're just gonna make my whole country get negative 50% throughput? I do not approve of that. Some would say I should be building some military shipyards considering how insanely productive they are, because our military goods industry are very big right now. So by high military good prices. Everything else is actually pretty reasonably priced still. We're up to 7,500 prestige. Big nice. Low taxes is too low. We actually need to go back up to high taxes. Else we're gonna have problems with money. The evil Indian national movement. They revolt against governance itself. Yeah, this revolt this has no chance, right? They're so on Liberty Desire, and I think activism gets reduced by Liberty Desire. It doesn't get increased as much because our Liberty Desire is so low. 0.24% from Liberty Desire. Yeah, that's quite low amount, you know. I feel like the support for the Indian national movement should also be based on that, but you know, I feel like that would be a good change. You got the Marathi national movement right now. Some would say that I should turn on these PMs if I have no labor, and they would be super right. So why wouldn't I do it? Because it's because I'm stupid. That's why I wouldn't do it. You know, if I did this, you know, we could have so much more people to employ up in our jobs. That would be so good, right? Although every time I do this, I feel like it doesn't do too much. You know, we're gonna do it again, and hopefully it'll do something this time. Give us some GDP or jobs to fill up eventually. That would be nice. I should really, you know, use labor saving PMs more often, probably. I don't know. Turning on all these PMs is somehow lowering our GDP. I mean, actually, it makes sense, but it's just, you know, kind of sad. I'm sure we'll be able to fix it, though, right? We got that. I'm sure we'll be able to fix it. Just need to now see, has this created a bunch of peasants or something in these states? And has created a bunch of unemployed, who will then eventually become peasants. So let's just build more stuff now. Artillery factories are actually profitable. We'll build some of those. Yeah, I'm gonna try to build more stuff now that we've swapped up all those PMs. Okay, turns out some of these are just like not productive, so I should not be using them. You can see here, the tool PM one, it's just not actually most productive to use the labor saving PM I think productivity is what I should be maxing out. It's really weird that it's not the most productive, though. I'm gonna turn on electric engines here, as well as automobiles. Automobiles are always pretty good. Okay, this PM, okay, this automation PM is actually worth it. 65 productivity building is pretty crazy. How's our electricity demand looking? Build some more electricity plants, probably. Um, what are we researching macro? Um, we haven't got a steam turbine yet. Dang. China's getting pretty close to bankrupting. In fact, I'm pretty sure they would be bankrupt right now if it weren't for the new debt change. Oh, there's like not nearly enough infrastructure in Beijing. That's like a very big problem. Are we not subsidizing the railways? No, we are. It's just there is not nearly enough railways. We need actually so many more railways in Beijing. How long have we had huge infra problems here, I wonder? Probably for a super long time. Actually, torrential rains is a big factor for it. Maybe not too long then. France is going for a Suzhou treaty port. I think we'd prefer for them to not have a Suzhou treaty port, so we could decide in here for return French Congo or transfer Senegal. Transfer French Senegal would actually be pretty reasonable war goal, I think. We'll do transfer French Senegal, I think. Oh, Confederation of the Rhine exists, but I think. Oh, no, they don't want to give it to us. What if we stop our government, actually? They're only 12 points off. We just need the landowners in. We don't have a landowners. This party is maybe closest to the landowner. Or no, the armed forces are going to be closest. Surely, right? So let's try that. Um, no, you're 6 off of giving that to me. Okay. French Niger? That's tiny. I guess we'll just take the return state. But I don't think we want France to get this piece of territory instead of China, because we want to subjugate China soon here. Oh great, the USA has sided against us. Oh great, the UK has declared war on China too. Luckily our army is 50,000 army power projections, so we can defeat USA, France, and stuff all at once. We'll decide in here. An obligation could actually be nice, but I think we'll take transfer British Congo. That's a pretty big thing we want to take over. Had our war with Kutai, right? And that's done escalating pretty soon. Maybe we'll invade that with a big stack and then send it over to deal with Congo. With our huge armies, we're having pretty big advantages on all the fronts, except for actually this front. Things aren't looking too great on that front. So let's try putting the soldier on defense. Because yeah, that front doesn't look too great. What war goals did Qing put in? They actually put in all the return state CBs. That's actually pretty nice. I don't think that they'll be able to stay a major power either way, right? Maybe they will. I really hope not. Don't think they'll be able to stay a major power regardless, once they go bankrupt. And we really want them to not become a major power, you know. One thing I'm kind of scared of is China's going to get more GDP from taking these states back. And then they might get out of getting very close to being bankrupt, which would be pretty bad. Yeah, we're definitely not letting India go free. That's a giant Indian uprising. Wow, that's huge. Good thing we have a 1,000 size army, otherwise there's no way to be able to fight these 3 wars all at once. Oh, apparently China's being invaded by Russia too, who's gonna liberate Shandong and stuff. That's not nice. It looks like maybe the princely states will be enough to make India able to win this. You know, there's quite a lot of princely states, all with their own militaries here. They might be just enough to defeat the Indian uprising. China is in default. That's very good. That means that they're going to go bankrupt as soon as the war is over, which is going to be soon. Yeah, they need just a little bit. France actually is capitulating so slowly. Wow. We need to get French war reparations occupied. Okay. Can we spare a big army? What have they incorporated? Have you incorporated Corsica? You have you've got 98 troops there though. What, Spain is at war with us too? Oh, okay. Um, okay, we'll just land Occitania, I guess. Just got macroeconomics. That'll be nice for the extra 5% MAPI. This is a bug. If you look here, automatic expansion, if you look here at the conditions, it's bugged. Automatic expansion on railways overseas will just permanently expand when you're down on convoys. That definitely needs a fix. Pretty big bug. We'll build a bunch of ports to try and fix it. Oh yeah, we're also going to subjugate Manchuria. It's going to be pretty nice. You know, get free protectorate up there. Um, it's reduce subject payments, even though, you know, some would say technically they aren't paying us anything. We're paying them, but, you know, we're still going to reduce their subject payments for free liberties reduction. Oh wow, that like almost doubled their GDP. Let's wait for the next tick of the graph. The graph should change pretty soon here. Yep, there it goes, super high up. Oh, we can choose a new company. Our GDP has been pretty stagnant since we haven't been constructing. We'll choose the Southern Manchuria Railway Company. The Indian Uprising is almost dead. It's gonna be pretty nice. Still haven't started capitulating the UK or anything yet. Need to push into Yunnan, which is seemingly very tough. Oh, never mind, we pushed into Yunnan. Okay, the British are now starting to capitulate. France still isn't, though. We need to land France for France to start capitulating, which we're actually failing to land France right now. They've moved 332 soldiers there. Yeah, it's going to be real tough to land France. I'm just landing in the home counties here. Yeah, easy home counties landing there. Just trying to occupy the UK a little bit more so we can cap them faster. They should cap very soon. The Indian uprising is over, so I think we're gonna enforce military access on Dominion of India because we want their help in this war. Okay, we're about to enforce on the UK, which is gonna temporarily pull China out of default, I believe. Yes, they're now out of default, which is a bad thing for us, I think. Actually, does it pull them out of default? Yeah, it does. So that's gonna start cranking their GDP back up. We're gonna land in Spain here, though, and then we'll hopefully push into France. Oh, what? How did our Wargle on France disappear? Um, that's weird how our Wargle on France disappeared. Somehow we're barely winning this battle. I guess careful maneuver gave us the early advantage there. But yeah, we seem to be barely winning this battle just because they're getting more guys demoralized. So we're gonna win it, and then we're gonna be in Navarra. Actually, Spain's already out of the war. Spain just capped. Okay, so this is pointless. We're just fighting troops we don't need to fight. Hmm. Okay, we'll just land Aquitaine, I guess. We're landing into France. Big nice. It's kind of annoying that we can't propose a white peace here because we're a secondary participant. Because I would love a white peace here. I'd super love a white peace, but the game just won't let me have it. What in the world happened to Norway's population? What? I just noticed this because I saw Sammy had so little pops, and I was like, what? It seems like the reasoning is because of the population of Norway just fell off a cliff, which is pretty interesting. I assume they got full occupied in a war for like forever. Apparently, the general strike. Um, what? Okay, 29 months of negative 50% manufacturing throughput. That's probably killing all of our buildings. Yep, it is. That's unfortunate. You know, very unfortunate that that's happening. We're at 8,000 prestige though. Nothing can stop us. Oh, the French are going negative war support. Okay, China just proposes full peace deal. We'll of course accept that. They're in 118 million debt. They gotta be so close to bankrupting. Okay, China just declared bankruptcy. Let's take a look. Their prestige is low enough. Let's go. Big nice. We just need to stay this low for about a year, and then we can make Protectorate on them. I need a little bit of infamy, so I've decided we're gonna full annex Dakota while we're waiting for Qing to become an unrecognized regional power. We just got pharmaceuticals research, so we can now go health system level 5. Okay, China is now an unrecognized regional power, which means we can now protectorate China, force the diplomatic play, and we'll try to add in a bunch of war goals to make them maybe more likely to back down or something, maybe? Revoke claims? Well, how do you have claims on states you already control? What? I guess we'll just revoke claim on all these states, though. Um, and that should hopefully make them more likely to back down, which would, of course, make things slightly faster, I think. Mobilize the 400 stack, put it into Beijing. Mobilize the 200 stack, also put it into Beijing. Mobilize this stack, grab our navy, move it over so we can naval invade into the capital as soon as the war starts. Manchuria has just gone below 25 Liberty Desire, so we're going to reduce their autonomy. So they're now a great puppet of the Japanese Empire. Now we're just going to watch this very closely because we need to pause as soon as they back down if they back down, because otherwise we're going to have big problems, as in we will instantly fragile unity if we don't do that. It looks like they aren't backing down unless they back down around here, but I don't think so. So we're gonna get a war. I'm kind of surprised considering how many war goals we had on stuff. They're negative 95 confidence from being bankrupt and stuff too, so it's very surprising they didn't back down here. Okay, the play has started. We're going to go send naval invasion to Suzhou. And of course China is just getting crushed because they're bankrupt and our army is of higher quality than them. I think I've got like skirmish and shrapnel, which is way better than whatever they have, which is probably skirmish and mobile artillery. Maybe are they even on skirmish? I don't know. Actually, they have trench in some of their army as well. Do we even have trench? We don't even have trench. Wow, the Chinese actually have better tech than us. This is crazy. I've loaded back here because what I've realized is we need to land the Kalimantan uprising before we cap China. Because if we cap China first, then we're gonna have to cap to the uprising. So we want to stop pushing on this front. Actually, we just want to hold so that we don't cap China, and then we want to land into the Kalimantan uprising, which okay, unfortunately. Okay, we're gonna need to enforce mill access on the Dutch East Indies here. I mean the Japanese East Indies, so that we get a border. The reason we needed to get a border is because the Philippines is already naval invading, which is kind of annoying. Okay, we've finished up with the Kalimantan uprising, so now we can start sending the generals back on offense and not have to worry about anything. Okay, we're getting an easy land here into Suzhou. And then once we're done landing into Suzhou, everything should be nice. Yeah, China will start ticking down super fast here from casualties. So I'm going to take a save, and then we're going to propose this peace deal. Okay, took a save. We're going to propose this peace deal. Actually, we should have taken war reps, but it doesn't actually matter, really. Okay, so now we need to grant them enough states that their liberty desire goes below 75. Let's start out by granting them Minch. Oh, okay, that's enough single-handedly. Okay, now they're a puppet. Okay, now we're going to grant all of this to Manchuria. Okay, yeah, I'm just going to slowly grant all this stuff to Manchuria. I'll be back when I'm done granting all the states. Okay, it's been complete. There's quite a lot of states to grant, but that is now all of China fed to Manchuria. And okay, what just happened? So Manchuria just turned into the Great Qing. Um, that's actually okay. I guess they actually just formed China after the other one turned into Beiyang. Well, that's interesting. Cool. We got this nice little China here. Loads of people we can start employing up here in China now. It's like 300 million people or something here to employ up. Build loads of logging for them to work in. Sure. Can have all the logging in the world. The great, the great China. I think this is where I'm going to end off the game. We got to 570 million GDP, subjugated China, got a billion GDP in our power block. I think this is a pretty successful Japan game, even though the early game did seem pretty bad. We ended up being able to make a pretty good recovery and have a decent game.